Today we are making these wire wrapped copper earrings. So lovely. The little French wire. Probably won't get to the French wires today, but at least to this part. These are great to leave simple, leave say plain, or you can add some gems to, I'm thinking about adding 2 gems to the bottom of here for an accent. And let me know your input. I will show you what I choose, or what you choose rather, on my community page later on after I get it all finished. I've got some agate, I've got these faceted amethyst, there's some pink opal, these are so cute, little coin beads, some blue lapis, some other lighter, more transparent amethyst, and then just a selection of some turquoise and some amazonites and different things over here. I would love to have your opinion. What should I put here, or should I just leave it plain? I would love to have your feedback. Let me know your comment down below what your choice is, and I will have the reveal on my community page later today. Also, stay tuned for the end of the video. I have a little secret to share with you. First, what are we going to need? Your basic here is 20 gauge copper wire. And as for tools, just get it all out. Get everything out. You'll need your full arsenal today, because I'm using 2 different bail making pliers. One's that has the 6 steps and then 3 larger bails. We're using this 5th step on the 6th step bail, and then we're going to use the smallest size on this 3-step larger bail to make this piece today. So make sure you have 2 of these. It can be fitted to whatever you have. I mean, if this is all you've got, you can go between this one and the largest bail to do these hoops. I mean, it's totally customizable to what you have. But if you have both, get everything out, all your flush. I gave myself a little wiggle room because I didn't know exactly how much I was going to need. I got about 8 inches of 20 gauge wire just to make sure I had enough, because I had never seen it. Now, someone might have made these before. I have no idea. I was just sat down with some wire and started fiddling with the round nose, my bail step making pliers, just to see what I would come up with. And this is what I come up with, and they are just adorable. Get the 6 steps. We're going to be using the 5th. So get them relatively centered around this 5th step and push close around the actual step here, not anywhere out here. It's better if you press right around the actual bail. And you want to keep your loops, these, because there's going to be little twists in this, and you want to always keep, when you wrap them around, make sure the right side is on top. Or if you want to do the other way, just make it that it's consistent. And bring it down so that it's making a teardrop shape. And I kind of use the this edge as a sight guide to see how much I need to press it down. I'm just going to press it down just a little further so it crosses kind of where the edge of the bail making pliers are. See that? Next step is to take them off the bail making pliers and get whichever flat nose pliers that you want to use. A nice firm grip near this cross point. Grab firmly with your other hand, your working hand, and give a firm, steady twist. And that is going to lock in this first loop that we made. All right, you got that? Now, I don't know what the angle is on this. Now, these 2 wires, it's not 90, it's not 180, it's somewhere in between. I don't know what it is. Don't make me get my protractor out. That is a bad word. We don't use protractor. I'm not good at math, never have been. I'm good at other things, thank the Lord. Okay, so now I apologize. I've got my other set out, or if you don't have a bigger set, you can leave it on this step and you can wrap it around whatever you have. Make it work for what you have. That's what the fun of jewelry is. It's a lot of problem solving. How can I make this work for what I have? But I do happen to have these fun, larger stepped bail making pliers, and that's what we're going to use. We're going to do the same thing. Make sure the right side is over top, pressing with our fingers around the bail to bring it in. And I'm kind of also watching down here where the other twist is and making it lined up as best as that I can. It's really important to get your twists in the same part of the of your loop. Okay, same thing, take it right back off. All that will come later. Grab your flat nose pliers, same as we did with the first loop. Nice and firm near this. Near that little cross point, take your working hand and give a nice steady twist. And now we've got our second loop. All right, back to our first set of bail making pliers that we used. We want to get back to this fifth step. So we can use the other side of our pliers to put into that larger loop that we just made. I'm also, you can see that this one is over a little bit. I can adjust this later. This is not a problem. The main point is that we're keeping our twists in line. Ooh, that's bugging me. I got to do it right now. Pop it back on there and just bring it over a little bit. I can't handle that. It's got to be in line. All right. Put these pliers back on so we can have access to this fifth step here. And we're doing, wait, hold on. Yeah. Don't bend it until you get it exactly where you want it. Don't bend until you're ready. Hold it nice and firmly. We're keeping the right one on top. Wrap it around. And as far as I can tell, this cross point is in line with the other twists. See that? Very, very important to keep the twists in line. Back with your flat nose pliers. Grip firmly, but just give yourself a little room to twist it here. Nice firm twist. And you might not get the twist the first time. It's not as easy as it looks. Remember how I said get your arsenal out? Yep, we're going to use the ring mandrel. Ring mandrel for earrings, you say? Yes, because anytime you've got some kind of loop going on, this is your handy dandy friend. And this usually seems to come up around, I want it around the 5 mark. I may not be able to get it down there or not. Looks like we're only going to be able to get to the 4. And this just stretches it out. Get it on there. And then this is a great time. I want to get my smaller pliers out. This is a great time to really, pinch on those little twists. Get them nice and straightened out. This is a good time you can take your nylon side, I did not mean that, the nylon side of your pliers, and just give some taps around there to work harden it a little bit. Plus, we're going to be doing some other hammering on a bench block in just a second. But this is it's a good little time to do that as well, as you got it on there, to really get a nice shape going. Put your pliers back on there and just make sure it's, as round as you can get it, the shape that you want. If you want more teardrop shape, you would just extend out the twist more. You wouldn't wrap into a complete circle around the bail. You would leave it out, leave the cross point out further from the bail to get more of a teardrop shape. But this is what I kind of liked, so I just went with it. Okay, time to get the bench block out with our chasing hammer. We're going to use the flat side and give it some, it really makes a nice little flattening effect right on the twist. Really nice. And it's just, and then I also go right at the bottom to flatten that teardrop out. It just catches the light a little bit more than a round wire will. Don't want to forget these other twists. Okay, so what happens when you got this little going on? Can you, let's see, where can I put it where you can see it? See the little gap right here? And it's come unlocked. How can you fix that? Not a problem. Pull it back out. That's why I still leave these on here. And you can pull it out and then hammer it nice and flat. And then it'll stay nice and interlocked. All right. We are in business for the next phase. We're going to put a little bail on the top so we can attach an ear wire, the original. So what I did was I took these two wires and brought them up straight. I cut them to 1/4 of an inch and then just rolled them back. So that's what I'm going to show you how I did that with my small flat nose pliers. Bring it in there right at this twist joint. This one, okay, so this one's going out to the left. This is going to be the wire on the left that forms the bail. So I'm not going to be twisting over here. I mean, bending it over here. I'm going to keep it on what will be the left side of the earring. My dog is hearing something outside. You know Susan by now. Hopefully she doesn't howl. If she howls, she did doing her doggy thing. Okay, so what I did is I flipped it over so I could access this other wire. I'm going to do the same thing. You must get these small pliers so you can really get in there, right there at the twist joint, and just take your time and bend it to meet the other one. And that's okay if that leaves a gap, because that just adds another little extra thing of interest. You know, that doesn't bother me. They don't have to be smack dab. See how they come together a little closer over here? That's not a big deal, because it just adds another little interest to your bail. A little catch of light. That's the light breakthrough. See, okay, I'm going to trim this off. Remember we left a lot of extra so that we would not be left struggling with little tiny pieces. I'm cutting down to 1 centimeter. This is what I'm going to be turning into the bail. Save my pieces. All right. Yeah. I think I'm going to use the second bail, the second step on the bail, just to make sure we have lots of movement, and just use your fingers to bend it around. Watch your wrist. Keep, be gentle on your wrists. Let me get that back off. And you can take your small needle nose pliers and just do any adjustments if you need to. This looks pretty good. Into it. Okay. Tip. I hear a lot of, when I was learning jewelry, and you would hear how to make a loop, and they say, bring it right over here so you can't feel it. Well, why? Why is that? The reason is because you want to make a bend even to the very end of this wire. And if you have it kind of out, if it's sticking out in see that little bits, that won't get bent, and it'll be left straight. And it'll do this. I'll show you. Let's say I think I'm getting it close, and I go to bend it around. I'm left with more of this teardrop shape. Like that. But if I come over here, let's flush cut that. If I come over here and I really get it that, man, I can't see it, I can't feel it, is it even in there? And then you go and bend it around. It's much more of a round loop in comparison to this. It's very round, where this is slightly more teardrop. So if you want to have nice round loops, put your end of your wire at I mean, you can't seal it, you can't feel it, nothing in your round nose pliers or your bail making pliers. So that is your little tip of the day. Okay, for this type of bail and this connection on this type of earring, we're going to need an ear wire that's more visible. It's not low profile. We're going to see this hoop, we're going to see the wraps, and be a little more interest at the top. Back to our 20 gauge wire. Give it a little flush cut. And we need 3 inches for this type of ear wire. Don't get your finger like I almost did. I'm going to use this second step on the pliers to achieve the space that I need for that bail to move around in. And there's roughly a third on this one side for the loop and the wrapping. Bring it on around. This is the critical part that you don't want to forget. This is where we attach our wire. You can't do it later, you have to do it now. Otherwise, you don't miss the window and you're going to be really hurt, and then you have to make the ear ring again. The ear wire again, excuse me. So get your piece that you made, flip it upside down, because if you put it on this way, then it'll be on upside down. So that's why you have to do it upside down. Listen, I know, okay? I don't make that mistake. And there we have our attachment. All right, at this point, we are going to make this wire straight up and down to form our loop for the earlobe part of the ear wire. Okay, so we have attached our ear wire. Get a hold of that loop that we just made. Now we're going to make our wraps to secure the ear wire. And I like to do about 2. I do like wrapping. I think it's so cute. These little accents there. And now that I've got it around to the back of our ear ring, this is when I can trim off the excess. And then give it a little press down. And then, of course, you can always clean that up with a file later on. And give it little tweaks and whatnot. You know, it's handmade. It's not going to be machine made. All right, back to the bail making pliers. I use the smallest ones, the front of the ear, front of this ear wire, up towards you, bend it back just a little bit. Then I'm going to use the 5th step to make the part that goes in your earlobe. Position your wire so you have access to that 5th step. It's going to bend out a little bit, but you'll still be left with that little first bend that we made, just slightly. Just tweak it and get it all into position. And then you can I'll use the 2nd step to make the little, at the end of the ear wire. And then that will be how we do that. I think I'm seeing a little tweak that maybe this could come in a little bit. Maybe these could be scrunched a little bit. Just the fine-tuning things. And then we take our file and finish up the edges. All right. I have a secret for you that I want to tell you. This is what I mentioned at the beginning of the video. These are all my mess-ups. This is all I went through to find out how to make these earrings. I tell you, I struggled with how to make the bail. This is my mess up with the twists. I messed up with the wraps. I messed up with the connections. I mean, it was one mess up after another. And I want to encourage you, if you're just learning to make jewelry, don't give up. It's a learning process. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the process of learning. And don't be discouraged. Listen, look at this. Look at this. But I press on and I continue on, and it's fun. And we're doing this together, and I appreciate you being here. And I so look forward to being with you in the next video.
Thank you for joining me today and making these lovely triple teardrop copper wire wrapped earrings. I had a great time as always. Look for what stone is added on my community page, and I'll see you in the next video.